Good morning, you sweet children. We're going to read a new book today, but before we read, we're going to practice some snap words that will be in this text. So are you ready? I'm going to circle them. You tell me what the snap words say. All right. Come. All. Yes, her. Not. Where? Said. They. Put. All right, now that we've practiced our snap words, we are going to read a book called The Bossy Pig. This is a G-level book. And as we read today, I've covered up some words. And sometimes I've left one letter, so we can say the first sound, look at the picture, and make a guess. Or I've left a blend at the beginning, two letters that kind of go together to make kind of a sound together. And then we can say those two sounds, look at the picture, and think what makes sense. Then at the end, we're going to practice retelling by telling what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end. So let's read this book together. The Bossy Pig. The Bossy Pig. Look at the cover. What is she doing? Then I'm seeing this picture. Usually the picture on the title page gives you a little clue about what the story is going to be about. Are you thinking about what the story will be about? Me too. We will have on Saturday. We will have I think it says that too. Did you think it said picnic? Let's click and see. Oh my goodness, that's not the way to do it. Yes, it does say picnic. Look, I see Miss Pig thinking about the picnic basket, and I'm remembering on the title page, there's the picnic. Did those clues help you figure out that word? Me too. We will have a picnic on Saturday, Mrs. Pig told her friends. You must come. Oh, there she is with her paper and pencil. All right. Mrs. Pig made a list. I want a table and 6. What sound does the CH make together? Ch. Oh, I think that makes sense too. Do you think that says chairs? Chairs. Yes, that looks right, and it makes sense. I want a table and 6 chairs, said Mrs. Pig. I want some juice and some pull. A table, 6 chairs for the picnic, some juice, and some pull. Oh, that makes sense. Plates. Yeah, let's look and see if that looks right. Plates. Yep, looks right. I want some juice and some plates. She was a very bossy pig. I can bring a bowl. Did you say blanket? Blanket, said Mrs. Sheep. A blanket is not on my list, said Mrs. Pig. You bring the table. All right, said Mrs. Sheep. Wow, she's pretty bossy. Mrs. Pig looked at her list. You bring 6 chairs, she told Mrs. Goat. All right, said Mrs. Goat. I can bring some I bet that's what she's saying. Let's see if that looks right. Milk, said Mrs. Cow. Milk is not on my list, said Mrs. Pig. You bring some juice. She was such a bossy pig. Mrs. Pig looked at her list again. We need plates, she told Mr. Horse. I will bring plates, said Mr. Horse. I know what I can what do you think that says? Oh, you think it says bring? Well, that makes sense. Let's see if that sounds right with the sentence. I know what I can bring. And it looks right too. Bring. I know what I can bring, said Mrs. Owl. Don't bring anything, said Mrs. Pig. We have everything we need. But I know something else we need, said Mrs. Owl. Mrs. Owl said, I know something else we need. What do you think she was thinking of? We know they're having a picnic. They got the chairs, they got the table, they got the plates, they got the juice. What else do they need? All right, let's keep reading. All the animals came to the picnic. They played. I think you're right. Games. That makes sense. That looks right. Mrs. Cow flew a kite. Stop playing, said Mrs. Pig. Put the table under that big tree, said Mrs. Pig to Mrs. Sheep. Mrs. Owl will help you. Set up the chairs, said Mrs. Pig to Mrs. Goat. Set the table, she told Mrs. Cow and Mr. Horse. Mrs. Pig looked at her list one last time. That's it, she said. Now sit down. Now pull. What would make sense there? Oh, maybe please? Now please sit down. Does that sound right? Let's see if it looks right with the letters. Please. It does. It looks right and it makes sense. Now please sit down. But wait, I'm looking at the picture and look at what all of the animals are thinking about. What did Mrs. Pig forget? What do you think will happen next? I'm remembering that Mrs. Owl had said, I know something else we need. Let's check your prediction. What do you think is in this basket? I think so too. Let's read the page. Where is the food? Asked Mrs. Goat. The food? Asked Mrs. Pig. Oh dear, I forgot the food. Mrs. Owl smiled. You forgot the food, she said, but I didn't. What's in the basket? Yeah, she remembered the food. You are a wise, wise owl, said the bossy pig. Now, let's eat. What a nice story. Let's go ahead and retell the story. So, we know that when we retell the story, we tell what happened in the beginning, in the middle, and the end. And today, I took pictures to represent the beginning, the middle, and the end. can you find the picture that represents what happened in the beginning of the story? Point to it for me. You think it's this one? I don't either. You think it's this one? I don't either. You think it's this one? Yeah, remember in the beginning, she was telling them that she wanted to have a picnic. Now, which of these pictures represents what happens in the middle? I took the picture of her telling the cow to bring the juice, but remember in the middle, she told all the animals that they had to bring different things. The middle isn't just her telling the cow. It was the part where she told all the animals that they needed to bring things. And then, of course, this is our last one. Do you remember what happened in the end? All right. So I want you to retell the story. And then I'll tell you what I hear you saying. Okay? All right. Ready? In the beginning. Ready, go. In the beginning. Yes. In the beginning, Mrs. Pig told all the animals she wanted to have a picnic. Now, let's tell what happened in the middle. Say, in the middle. Remember. Yes, in the middle, she told all of the animals to bring different things. And tell what happened at the end. Yes, in the end, Mrs. Pig forgot to bring the food, but Mrs. Owl did not forget, and she brought the food. We retold the story. We told what happened in the beginning, and the middle, and the end. So today we worked on guessing the covered word. We worked on retelling the story. Tomorrow we'll do a little bit more work. Thank you for reading with me today.